Hey guys, Anthony here with Not Cool in High School podcast. So this is a new thing we're going to try out. You're going to hear, a little intro of what's going on with the show before we get into it to kind of give you an idea what to expect. So this is our first episode back since the COVID-19. We're going to do everything over the phone. So bear with us. We may have some odd interference or some puppies barking in the background because, it's something we're trying out over the phone. So please bear with us. Obviously, it's not up to the normal standards of our show, but we're going to try our best to just keep putting content out to keep you guys, entertained so you have something to look forward to. It is going to release every Wednesday just like before, so I hope you guys are looking forward to it. We're going to cover everything that we've been watching, playing, reading, and maybe some stuff you can look at. We'll talk about some news about the new PlayStation controller and maybe get a little mad at me, spoiler alert, and we're going to talk a lot about Animal Crossing. We will cover a Facebook Messenger group that we have going on, so if you are a huge Animal Crossing fan, you can join us. Just send us a message over at Not Cool in High School or at my personal account at Anthony Blackwell Jr. on Facebook. We really hope you guys enjoy it, and like I said, we are back, and we'll see you soon. Here's some Look Alive, and we'll talk to you guys after the music break. See what? No. Hey everyone, Anthony with Not Cool in High School. Weird saying that again. We're back for the time being. It's just going to be audio only. I did say that I'm not going to be putting anything on YouTube, but then I went and broke down and just put the audio with a little video, like a little photo of the logo up on YouTube, so people still only use YouTube as their platform to watch the podcast. I don't want to exclude them because of everything that's going on. So it takes a little more time. I probably won't have it up right away for YouTube, so it'll be audio only, right? I mean, extremely right away. As soon as we're done recording here, I'll probably have that up. But it's going to be audio only for the time being, obviously, because of the Corona Bud Light virus that's going around. I don't know if you heard of it. But we have some people on the phone, so we're going to do this exclusively through the phones. So just be a little patient with us. We may have audio technical difficulties. It may not be the same quality you're expecting. You might get that over-the-phone sound, but it's better than nothing. A lot of you were saying you missed the show, but we're bringing it back. So it's going to be back every week, a weekly thing. This week's going to be just like a tune-up. We're going to see how it feels, get used to it, and then following up next week, we're going to try to bring topics and stuff back. On the phone, if you guys want to give you guys a little heads up who's here. So, Ben.
Hey, everybody.
I was going to say, you leave me in the dust here. I was like, someone talk. We have Bree.
Hi, everybody. It's Brianna.
And Steve.
Yeah, it's your boy.
It's your boy.
Never do that again. I love you, Steve, but never do that again.
No, that could be your new intro. I love that. That's fantastic.
And don't forget, Mark's here too.
Yeah, and Mark as well. Sorry about that. I didn't know if he was ready or not, or if he was joining in on his phone. So you guys are going to share the phone?
We're going to share the phone.
Awesome. All right, well, we got Mark as well. I'm sorry, Mark.
Oh, it's all good.
All righty. So yeah, we're pretty much going to kind of keep the same format. We're going to talk about what we're into, and more people may join in as the call goes, because we're going off Facebook Messenger, which I think is working pretty fine so far. And the cool thing is we have it going off our group chat. So all people have to do that's in the group chat is just hit join, and they can join in. So I'm just going to put this in the chat now. We are recording. Hold on 1 second. Should have done this earlier, but
I also apologize if anybody hears from my very vocal dogs.
Yeah, we may have some dog barking. We may have some dog run-ins. They might slide in the chat and let us know they're there.
Some squeaking. Might have some
That's right.
squeaking going on.
Yeah.
I have 4 of them, and they're very hyper, loving, talkative dogs.
What
So
kind of
I
dogs are they?
apologize in advance. So I have Leif. He's a border collie mix. I have Arwen. I'm pretty sure, straight, pure corgi. Both very hyper. I have Oreo. He is a border collie Chihuahua mix.
Oh boy.
And then I have Leia. She's a Chiweenie.
A Chiweenie. You know what's funny? I had a border collie one time, and I remember we bought it, and someone, the guy who was who like we got it from was like, border collies are ranked as as one of the smartest dogs you can own. And I was like, awesome. This dog was as dumb as shit. Like, used to chase it. Used to chase his tail. Yeah, used to chase his tail and smash into walls and like almost knock itself out. I was like, you are dumb as hell. I was like, you are like, we got the worst pick of the intelligence spectrum on our dog. But that's just my luck. But every single dog we had after that was pretty smart. So there we go. We got a little run in there. So yeah, we're going to talk about what we're into, what we're playing. I actually have some stuff to talk about because now with this quarantine and being locked down and not being essential, I have time to actually watch and play stuff. So my video game playing has been used. I actually my Xbox was missing me. Yeah, we had a bonding experience. We cried. We talked about how we missed each other. And then right before I got shut down at work, I downloaded about 155 games. So I got a lot to do.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, on my Xbox.
Quite the backlog.
Yeah, I have a big backlog. So we'll start with let's start with Bree. Ladies first. What have you been playing? I'm sure we're gonna all have the same topic we're gonna talk about. So if that's the only thing you really have, like that one, we'll kind of save towards the end. That could be towards the end of the episode, and we could all talk about it together.
Oh yeah. Well, you probably already know my answer. Thank you for letting me go first. That was very kind of you.
Yeah.
I, of course, have been playing Animal Crossing New Horizons. I have been an Animal Crossing fan since day one. I have been currently living, breathing, playing virtually Animal Crossing. I absolutely love it.
Spoiler alert, this is gonna be a big
games.
topic tonight. We're all gonna kind of jump in on the Animal Crossing train.
It's going to be a reoccurring theme.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And all of us love Animal Crossing. So you're going to hear a lot of that tonight. So I've been playing Animal Crossing. Watching, it's probably an oldie but a goodie. I've been watching Sherlock.
Okay.
I'm like late to the program with that one, but I absolutely love Sherlock. It is just brilliantly written, portrayed. Like, I mean, the acting's amazing, the writing's amazing. Just the show itself, how they like put it together, producing is just amazing. So I've been watching that, and I know we often talk about like comics that we're reading, but I'm actually like reading books. I'm a big book reader. So currently I'm reading The Magicians.
Okay.
It's a big, I know it's a very popular TV show. I also watch the show. So I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between Sherlock and The Magicians, but I most recently, if I'm not playing Animal Crossing, watching Sherlock. But I'm reading The Magicians and also Game of Thrones and behind with that as well. But it's tough when you read 2 books at the same time, so I'm kind of bouncing between them.
Yeah. Awesome.
Good. Yeah.
How about you, Mark?
Tiger King!
Oh, we can't forget about Tiger King. Yes, we are watching that together.
How far into it are you?
Anybody else?
Tiger King!
Only have one episode left that I know of.
Oh my God!
Until they put the new one out.
So the Tiger King, you know how obviously spoiler alert that the rumor is Carol Baskins killed her husband. I think if this quarantine goes any longer, I'm going to become missing because I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at picking up voices, like weird voices, and I can mimic them pretty well. So I've been talking around the house like Joe Exotic. And and Heidi hates it. She's not a fan of it. And but I always tell her, you know what? If you got a problem with the Tiger King, Carol Baskin, you can go fucking suck a dick. Yeah,
that is so money.
I've been on Call of Duty. I'll be playing Call of Duty, and I'll just get. I'm obviously beers happen, so I'll be on Call of Duty at 3 a.m, and I'll just be like, and they'll be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe we lost that game."
Well, we lost that game because you guys are sitting here fucking around thinking the disrespect is going to stop right now.
I thought you blamed Carol Baskins for that one too.
Yeah, I blame Carol Baskins for everything, and then I'm just like, and then what I say?
Oh, the penis piercing. I got me and Prince Albert in there. I hang padlocks off it.
Tony,
Oh
please
my
tell me you've listened to the Carol Baskin song.
Oh, it's
Yes.
good.
Well,
Oh,
so actually, one of the things I found out about that is that's actually not him singing.
Oh, not him, not his song.
The rap.
Some dude. If you put in that bitch Carol Baskin on YouTube, there's a guy wrote a
A
country
million
song.
videos come up.
Oh yeah, it's
No,
huge
no.
right now.
It's a huge country song. It's amazing.
It's very good. He's young, the guy who's doing it.
Yeah.
What would you say, Mark? Early 20s. I like that, yeah.
Yo, I even went back and started watching his YouTube videos. Like, I can't stop.
Oh, got it.
Dude, I'm obsessed. Dude, people get fucked up on those YouTube videos. Like, the one guy got scratched by the tiger. His whole leg is wide open. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, it's awesome. It's definitely...
Some of those memes fucking kill me. There's that one
I
that's like, it has Adam Levine, and then his
I saw
like
it.
his
it has
boyfriend.
their exact ex-husband is
Yeah.
the Wish version of Adam Levine.
Oh, I
That's
love that one.
hilarious.
Yeah.
So good.
So what
I
are
have
your...
a stash of them on my phone.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that? Like, what do you think about the documentary? Do you think Joe did it?
What? Put the hit out?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think he did.
I actually don't.
I don't think he did either.
He might have gave that guy $3,000, but it seems like the other three are trying to railroad him to get out of their own shit.
Yeah, I think maybe they used him being vocal about killing her and always joking around that he wants that bitch dead. So I think they railroaded him, and the guy was probably like, "Yo, you give me this much money, I'll do it." So there was some kind of transaction. So the guy could be like, "We can get him put away for this, and I can finally take over this zoo." I think they were just conspiring to get him out.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense, too. I didn't look at it from that point of view.
Yeah, I think
makes
he got set up, and it's crazy because the things that he even got arrested for, like they found like skulls and buried tigers. Like, where else are you gonna fucking put them? Like, if a tiger is dying or you euthanize it, where are you gonna fucking bury it? You have all that land, you're gonna have a spot where you're gonna bury tigers. You know what I mean? So I don't think he was just.
that makes sense.
I don't think he was purposely going out and just saying like, because when that tiger was fucking dragging him by his foot, he shot his gun, but he didn't shoot to kill the tiger, and he at that point he could have died. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't think he was just out there just popping tigers just to pop them.
No.
Oh, I don't think he'd ever do that.
Yeah, even the tiger that
he
ripped
would've
that.
fought it.
I don't know if it was a girl or a guy. I'm hearing conflicting things, but I'll just say guy for now. But even the tiger that ripped that guy's arm off, they didn't kill that tiger. They didn't put it down, even though they were told they probably had to. They just put it off to
Do you
the
mean
side.
the one where he said, I'm never going to financially recover from this?
Yeah, dude.
That
The
one.
best part about that, obviously, is someone his arm is off, like not hanging on, not bit really bad, no, off, like it's gone. This arm, and he has enough time to go throw on his fucking EMS bomber jacket.
I don't even know why I didn't think of that. That is hilarious.
Yeah, he's like,
Oh, shit, I need my jacket. This is the perfect time to wear it.
He's got a jacket for everything.
oh my god, he was a fucking
got a
legend.
jacket for
And then like they're like, you think you're gonna die? He's like, I ain't never gonna financially recover from this. I was like, what
Oh
a
my
fuck.
So
God.
crazy.
Yeah, it is. I honestly, it is a must watch.
Oh, it's a train wreck. You can't look away from it.
Yeah, and
That's a very good train wreck.
and it's funny. The best way I heard it described too, I think, was by David Spade, because he's been interviewing all of them. It's like, or Joe Rogan. I forget where I heard it, but they're like, you're thinking like you're gonna have like a downtime on the show, like, oh, next episode is gonna be a little slower paced, or it's not gonna have as much craziness. You are wrong. Every episode it just raises the stakes every fucking episode. Just like, oh, you think it was crazy? Bang! Here's a whole new level of crazy. You're like, what the fuck?
Never stopped.
Yo, when that dude.
No, you don't.
when that spoiler alert here, when that dude shoots himself in the head in front of the other dude, and he just is like, and he has that face. It's not funny that someone killed himself, but just that guy's reaction on camera. You're like, oh my god! Like, like if you're gonna go out, you're gonna give a guy some therapy on the way out. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, hey, check this out. Pow!
You should call me up. That's what I do. I'd be happy to.
Jesus. Yeah.
I would not want to get involved with those people. There's no way. You can keep me out of that. Therapy or not. No, thank you.
I seen a meme with that one. Go ahead.
I personally thought it was summed up perfectly when it shows a goddamn tornado coming towards him and he jumps on a four-wheeler and drives down the highway towards it. I was like, yeah.
And he's sitting there with a radio.
Murder.
Hope this tornado don't come down here. I'm gonna throw my tigers all over the place.
Yeah, like,
no,
the most ridiculous shit.
Where he's like, I can't do it. I'm laughing. Where he's like,
whoever came here and lit fire and blew up our recording studio, they killed our crocodilians and they burnt up and boiled alive in a blazing inferno.
Oh my
man.
god.
Oh, another fucking Atlas moth. Son of a bitch.
Like fucking Ben, are you playing the game or are you podcasting? What are we doing
I'm
here?
listening to him playing the game too. I fucking missed out on another Atlas moth.
Ben's Tourette's are acting up again.
Right now.
Ben just caught one.
Yeah, Ben's at least Bree's like, you know, Ben's commentating what he's doing on his game while we're recording.
The first swear word of the night is when Ben missed the Atlas moth.
Yeah, jumped over the river, went in the house. Yeah. So, yeah, great documentary. I actually, I'll wait till my turn to come up. But I watched another documentary on Netflix. I think is really good to watch too. Yeah. What else have you been into, Mark?
Oh, he stepped out to get the dogs, but real quick, I want to mention, did you guys see, I shared a link, and I'll share it to the podcast page, too, because I meant to, and I forgot. The ID channel, Canal ID channel, is going to do a series on Carol's missing husband now, as a result of it. Did you guys see that?
No.
I'll share it onto the page.
Supposedly,
I
too,
think I did see something about that.
supposedly, she's under, they reopened the investigation because they have new evidence.
I read that.
I saw that. They must have good cause to do that. I don't know if it's because of the popularity of the show.
Good cause.
or
I
if they
mean,
have
Jesus
new
Christ, it
evidence.
looks like they fucking just dropped the ball altogether on the first investigation.
Come on.
I think they did.
Come on. Oh, if you really wanted to get bit, you would put sardine and fish oil all over them.
Yeah.
Bitch, you killed your husband.
I think that says it right there. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't want to go around like accusing people because that's not who.
The only
I am
problem
or
is,
Mark
every
but
30 seconds Joe Baskin had a new theory.
You should test the meat grinder. You should go in there and check the poop. You should go in there and check the septic tank.
Like, he's always had a new theory. Like, it didn't help that every 30 seconds he had a new thing he should look at. But yeah, he's definitely somewhere buried on that property, or there's some type of he's definitely dead. She's trying to say he flew a
Dude
plane
did
and then
not
had
help his own
Alzheimer's.
cause.
Yeah.
He didn't help his own cause, blowing up and shooting dolls with Carol's name on them,
Sticking
and fucking
dildos in
shooting
their
the
mouth.
head and stuff. Yeah.
He was very obsessed with her, so that doesn't help. His obsession and all of his statements did not help his case at all.
But Tony, other than that, the only other thing I've been working on is I have successfully started growing plants.
Yes, he started a garden.
Growing weed?
No weed. No weed. Wink, wink. No.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. We have a new podcast starting up in a couple months, Getting High, starring Mark.
It's Mark.
No, I'm growing a bunch of vegetables and some flowers for Bria. That's all. Nothing crazy.
Are you're starting like a post-apocalyptic garden in case the shit gets real sour?
Yes.
Mostly.
Yes.
You know how it starts, right?
Is it indoor or outdoor?
He's gonna have a couple plants, and then you're gonna go over his house one day to pick him up, Steve, and he's gonna have fucking chickens walking around and a goat. And
That's funny. We were talking about getting chickens. That's very possible on the Miller household real soon.
You guys are laughing about it, but I know somebody who has all these things, and I could probably get my hands on most of them.
Yeah.
Yes, and we can get a discount.
I had a friend who every time I went over his house, he had a new animal to his zoo, and he lived in Frackville. I was like, your neighbors fucking hate you. He used to laugh at me. I'm like, dude, every time I come in here, you have a fucking hawk, you had fucking a goat running around, you had 45 chickens, a rooster. I was like, dude, your fucking neighbors hate. He had beehives in his backyard. I'm like, you're in Frackville. Your neighbors can't stand you, and you know that, right? Fuck it. Imagine living in Frackville and a rooster going off in the morning every like. I'd be like, fuck that. You gotta go.
I would move.
I'd be eating that rooster. Fucking second day it fucking goes off in the morning. I'd be like, chick, chick. Yeah.
When I was at my parents' house, there was a rooster that was like 2 or 3 houses away from us, and I think there was something wrong with it in its head.
It sounded like a death whale.
Yeah, I know. It was all messed up. I don't know. I don't know if it's still around yet, or it got eaten by a fox or whatever. But
let's hope so. So some new. Do you have anything else you want to talk about, Mark?
No, I'm pretty good.
All right. So I don't want to throw somebody under the bus here, but we have a huge turn of events since the virus broke out. Ben, what do you got to tell us?
I'm living at my house.
Ben has officially moved into fucking the residence.
That's awesome.
Chateau.
Yeah, he's
been
in.
Fucking peaceful.
Very exciting. Congrats.
Do you still go home every day for dinner?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I go every once in a while. So I actually ate just a little before.
Would you?
So,
have you had a meal in your house yet? Or are you just because Ben was like, yeah, if I don't go home and eat, I just get McDonald's. I'm like, you're gonna get fat. That's how it
I'm not eating McDonald's.
That's what happened to me. I got my own house. Go ahead.
I've been living off the Elio's pizza, bagel bites, and bananas, beer, pretty much. So,
just wait.
Yeah,
that's how it starts.
You pick on me with my belly. You're 6 months away.
Don't worry.
You're gonna look like a fucking 80s wrestler. You're gonna go to the gym and work on your arms and your traps and your biceps. And you're gonna have a big old Hulk Hogan belly.
It's awesome. I was thinking Jake the Snake, but yeah.
I come into my house every day and I eat my bagel bites and drink my beer. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I went over. I broke the law, and I went over and visited him at his new house. When he first moved in, it was not. It's good. It's good. He's all set up. He's playing his Xbox and stuff. He got to get an internet so he can play online with us, but he's all good to go. Looks nice. I'm happy he's finally in there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And unfortunately, with the whole internet thing, since they actually got me at my work that I was like essential. Basically, at this point in time, since I didn't have the internet and with everything being closed, they have to get me a hotspot. So basically, I'm off this whole time on not sick, but weather safety leave, just because of all this.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm not burning off any time. Yeah. So until that hotspot comes in, I've been waking up a little bit earlier just to get to it. But other than that, I'm a little bit concerned just because of how my manager kind of can get.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm probably just going to send an email to her, be like, hey, look, it didn't come in yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when it'll come in, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
I was mostly doing clerical work, really.
Yeah, one of the big reasons why for banging beers, because we live pretty close to one another. We were still sitting down and doing the show, but Heidi still goes to work every day, and she goes to work and picks up paperwork and then brings it back to the house, and then she works on it from here. And she had there's one or two cases, I guess, at her job that people in departments that she gets the paperwork from just tested positive. So we may be infected and just don't know it. So I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna shut them all down and just do them over the phone from now on until this all clears up.
Even at my work, somebody is like a second party essentially. had it, and I'm like, oh my god, you got to be fucking kidding me! And
It's
I
so
was like having
creepy
a conniption
because
and all.
once I heard this, like I coughed or I sneezed, I'm like, oh my god, here it is, it's happening.
There was a meme that honestly 100% describes what happened. So every time I hear somebody cough, I'm sure that you guys have seen that.
The Office.
The Baby Yoda meme.
Just another fucking Atlas moth, son of a bitch.
All right.
No, that's not what I was
Catch him for
thinking,
you, Ben.
actually, Ben.
Sorry.
No,
Karen.
what's my girl's name? No, not Karen.
Pam.
You know, God damn it, no, the singer. She's Heidi loves her.
Oh, Cardi B.
Cardi B.
Cardi B.
Oh, Corona, y'all, Corona.
That happens every time I hear someone cough. I'm like, coronavirus.
Yeah.
It is getting real.
Shit is getting real. I love it.
I always think of the Baby Yoda meme because I have asthma, so I cough anyway, and
Yeah.
I can't do anything about it. So I always have to like hold in my cough or go cough in private.
Did
and
you?
there's this Baby Yoda.
Did you see the video of the guy on
There's a
CNN where he had to cough or sneeze and he did everything in his power to hold it back and he let out like one of these noises and he just looks at the camera and his eyes get all big and they all just kind of look
Oh, I feel his pain.
like people are afraid to cough now. They're like, oh my god, they're gonna execute me.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's a Baby Yoda meme with his face real huge, and it just says, you know, I'm something about holding in the cough so he doesn't get accused of having like the Rona or something. I don't know. It's funny. I haven't seen.
Coronavirus.
Joe Exotic supposedly has coronavirus.
Who does?
Yeah, I know.
Joe Exotic.
Wait, who does?
Joe Exotic and
Oh, Joe
Harvey
Exotic,
Weinstein.
I read that.
Imagine going to prison, you're
You know
like,
what,
I'll be
Tony?
safe, and then all of a sudden, boom.
Coronavirus.
There is one other thing I would say, Tony.
Sure.
The death of Bill Withers really sucks.
Yeah.
That's bad.
I got.
Didn't mean to drop that on you, Mark, but I was like, oh man.
He's gonna find out one way or another.
I got obsessed
That
with Bill
one
Withers
actually
because
really
of the boys
hurts.
upstairs. Tom Salega does a really good cover of "Use Me Up," and it's one of my favorite songs that he does. And I was like, oh man, when I heard it, I was like, I gotta go play that song now.
Yeah, I really enjoy his music quite a bit.
He's a beast.
I'm sure Steve could tell you. He drove my ass all the way to Kutztown to buy a fucking CD.
Yeah, and that was like fucking 20 years ago too. Mark isn't even. I wouldn't even consider Mark a fair weather Bill Withers fan. He's pretty much all in on Bill Withers.
Yeah. It's maybe that could be a topic because like, I was telling them earlier, I was like, this week we're not going to do a topic. We're just going to kind of hang out and just kind of talk and get the show going again. But I think starting next week we'll bring topics back. So whoever, I mean, I could probably do my I Love Lucy one next week, or if Matt wants to call in and do part 2 of Howard Stern, we could do that. But Bill Withers would be a good topic. Kind of shed
Has
light on.
anybody talked to Matt?
No.
Was he sick or what happened to
Is
him?
he okay?
Heart complications, Mark.
No, I have
He
no
has
idea.
heart complications.
He had heart complications. Yeah, because when I posted, it was like, he died at like 89. I think he died at 89 due to heart complications.
Oh no, not Bill Withers. Your buddy Matt. Is he all right?
I was just like, what? Matt had heart complications? I didn't hear anything about Matt having heart complications.
I know. Yeah. No, we didn't hear from him.
No, I haven't heard anything.
Does he have the Rona?
He might. He's like a walking plague. He gets somehow something always happens to him or something in his family. Like they just can't catch a break.
I feel for him.
Yeah.
We were just thinking of him, hoping he's all right.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's awfully nice.
So Ben, what else have you been into? What have you been working on?
Well, I was playing Doom, the 2016 version, for a little while because, well, due to this, I figured why not work on my backlog of games that I have and just work up on the trophies and beat some games. And Doom 2016, it just seems like it goes on forever. It's like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know when the game's gonna fucking end, to be quite honest with you. But it has been a real fun ride, nevertheless. I'm really enjoying that for the most part. I've been playing Animal Crossing because I got into it with you folks talking about it.
Yeah, our chat has been blowing up. We had to make a sidebar chat because it was getting so much out of control.
It was nutty, yeah. And it was so funny because like all this like transpired. I have the game for about maybe 4 days, and I finally caught up to like getting the Nook's Cranny built, and I forget how many bugs and fish that I caught already. So pretty much I'm like practically tapped when it comes to catching stuff and fishing and catching bugs. Realistically, so yeah, so like I'm pretty ahead.
The game's really meant to be a slow creep. I think that some people, and I'm not saying in our group, I'm just reading people's posts on Facebook and stuff. I think people are kind of missing the point. It's supposed to be like a slow grow, 20 minutes a day kind of thing.
That's how I play.
Once you get it going,
I had to change up my style because I was like, I need to do all this every single day. So like you kind of the way I play it now is kind of how you were talking about before. I would try to wake up and try to do everything I possibly could. Like I needed to pay off my loan, I needed to grind, get all this money. I was like, fuck that. Once the loans got so high, I was like,
too much.
Yeah, I can't do that every day. So I was like, I'll just do what I can. I don't even care about upgrading my house now. So I wake up every day. I go around, I collect all my seashells, I do my tasks, I get all my Nook miles. I don't even spend them half the time now. And I'm then like, hey, I need you to do this, this, and this. And I'm like, all right, cool. I may or may not do that right now.
Literally every day when I play, and it only takes me like 20 minutes, I make sure that I talk to everybody once.
Yep.
And then I'll go to the store, and I usually buy anything that I don't have in my catalog already. And then I go to the ATM, and I get my bonus Nook miles, and then I'm done. Like, that's...
I go around, I chop, I get all my
wood, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I go around, I do all my trees, I chop all my trees, I get all the wood from my trees, and then what I recently did is I had 2 lots full of cedar trees. I had this whole section of cedar trees up top, and then I had a whole section on the side. I think Bree's seen it at one point in time, and I was like, you know what? I have such a stockpile of wood. I don't need one of those sections of cedar trees, and then all of my fruit trees were all crammed together in this one spot. So what I did is I took all my cedar trees on the one spot and chopped them all completely down. And I needed a challenge to plant trees, and then anyway, so I just chopped all my trees down. I went and bought a bunch of seederlings and then planted brand new ones, like 10 of them. And then what I'm going to do is when they fully grow, just get wood from them for like 2 or 3 days, and then chop them down completely, and then go buy 10 more and plant them. Because if you plant so many trees, I think you have to finish one of those challenges. And then and then I have like 10 or 15 of each fruit tree in different sections of my island. So I have like a section over here with oranges and cherries, and then another section over here which is apples and pears, and then I have all my bamboo in one huge. Because I don't have a lot of bamboo, so I have a huge bamboo section now. I have all this bamboo planted. So then that's what I do.
Nice.
And then every day I just go and I collect all my bamboo and collect wood. So that's what I'm always telling people. If anyone needs wood, just let me know. I have tons of it. I was selling it at one point.
Lumberyard.
Yeah, I was selling it for a while, but I was like, I'll just stockpile it because if I start building furniture, and once I have to go to the point where I want to start building furniture, I have enough to just build, and then I'll take like once I get my Nook miles up to like 30,000, I'll go and I'll buy a bunch of tickets, and then I'll do like a whole couple days of just going to islands and getting extra iron, extra stone, extra thing, fishing a little bit while I'm there and seeing what I get.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, so that's what I do. Play it for like an hour and a half, like an hour every day, and then I turn it off, and then I go play a different game.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I don't think I'm caught up with all my fish and all my bugs yet, but I didn't even catch my house up yet. I still only have 2 rooms. Like I talk to people, I do my shopping. I'm trying to collect all the cherry blossom recipes, so I'm going around trying to catch all the cherry blossoms.
I've been catching a shit ton, and I don't get any recipes for it. The only way I get my cherry blossom recipes is if they come from a balloon.
Yeah, and I haven't been having much luck with that.
Me neither.
So I go to visit different people's islands and things to see if I just go visit everybody's islands, like my friends and stuff. So I do a lot of hanging out with people. I do a lot of DIYs. I'm working on the bunny recipes in time for Bunny Day, which would be Easter. Got all that done.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm really working on collecting flowers and getting the hybrids of the flowers. I'm really struggling with that.
Yeah.
I can't seem to find different flowers, so that's my current mission. And
Well,
of course,
if you need anything, come to my
island.
island. I have a bunch. I'm not.
okay.
I don't have
Maybe I will
anything.
then.
I don't have
Fine.
anything. I'm crossbreeding. So if you, as long as you, whatever you take, as long as you kind of keep a little memory, like, hey, if I crossbreed, just kind of, I'll leave one for Tony. That'd be great. I'll
I
open
can
my
do
gate
that.
for you when we're done
I
here,
can
and you can come
definitely do
check
that.
out and see what I have.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you. Because that's what my current mission is, trying to get all the flowers.
I think my brother or my
I
mom
think when
gave
I
me black
find
roses.
Oh, that's nice. I would love the black flowers. I got a black tulips from my friend Erica. She's the one who gave me the black tulips. That's the only black flower I have. So I'm really that's what my current mission is. Plus, like, everyday, like, stuff. It's really hard to get any fish right now to finish out your fish catalog with the eggs everywhere.
Yeah,
So
all the medium-sized fish I'm finding are the ones with the eggs. All the large fish, if you just want a bunch of sea bass and regular bass, you can't get enough of those. And the small ones, like the small and large are actual fish, and any medium-sized ones are fish that they're going to be eggs. But I did also read that if you make fish food like bait, and a medium-sized fish shows up from your bait, it will actually be a fish. It won't be an egg. You can't get eggs from fish food.
maybe I'll try that then, because I finally finished all the Easter furniture for the Easter bunny that's going to come around. So
I'm missing a few yet, I think.
There's only 37.
Yeah, I don't have a
37
wand, but
recipes.
I've never seen a shooting star, so that I don't know if I'll ever get the wand, and I think I'm missing
Same
some.
here. I haven't seen one yet either.
Yeah, I
Well,
finally
there's-
just had the girl show up my island by their sister who told me about shooting stars. Like, she just came the other day.
Well, I have shooting stars in my town today because Celeste is here. So if anybody wants to come to my town and collect shooting stars, you're more than welcome to do that. I didn't know that there was an Easter Bunny wand, though, because the article that we found, my friend Erica and I, she had said that there's, in that article, I should say, not my friend Erica, in that article, there's no mention of an Easter Bunny wand.
I might have even got spoiled for what the surprise item is then, maybe. I think someone
That
told
he
me there's.
gives you, maybe?
Yeah, I think from what I was told, there's a wand. I just don't know.
Maybe that's the one he gives you after you turn in all your items to him, then.
Yeah, we'll have to compare and contrast, see what I need. Yeah. So, Ben, have you been playing anything else or anything else?
Nothing really otherwise.
Wow. Wow.
This has been like a fucking damper and a half, this whole situation. So I don't mean to be like the downer today of the podcast, but this
way to bring it
fucking
down,
blows.
Ben. Now everyone's depressed. It's all your fault.
It is hard. It is hard. It's a hard way to adjust life. That's for sure.
Yeah, it is different. It's a lot different. Steve, what have you been up to? What are you up to right now?
Oh my God, this is so crazy. For anybody that doesn't know, my in-laws live across the street, and I want to say 3 weeks ago.
You have like an everyone loves
when they
Raymond
were-
situation going on.
Kind of, yeah. I fortunately enough for myself, I like my in-laws, but 3 weeks ago when they were kind of doing the quarantine thing, we all kind of quarantined. Now we still are mingling with each other. There's 8 of us total. My mother and father-in-law, my sister-in-law, and my niece, and then my family 4. So we're all kind of doing our thing, but we're kind of cut off from the rest of the world. So it's crazy. There was a voluntary layoff at work, and I took that because I didn't want to get, my mother-in-law really cannot get sick, and I don't want to get her sick. And I was still going to work every day. My job is essential. But demand went down, so there was a layoff. I took it. I was able to get off. Great. Well, now, I thought it was all going to be fun and games. No, not at all. There was tons of yard work to do, and I pulled my back out the very first day I was off. We celebrated. Me and Allison and Mark went celebrating. We went to throw some discs, and I threw this disc. I tried to throw like a lunatic, and I tweaked my back. And I was as soon as I did it, I never tweaked my back before.
Yeah, welcome to my
I stood there
life.
for 10 minutes, and I kind of wanted to cry, and here I am, a week later. It still hurts. It's definitely not good.
Yo,
So my unofficial job.
you
on
should
this
see me right
voluntary
now.
layoff would have been- Are you laid up?
I look like a question mark.
That's not good.
Dude, my one hip is 4 inches higher than my left hip.
Oof.
Yeah, it's fucked
4
up.
inches.
It looks that way. Dude, I am fucking crooked. I look like Quasimodo.
That is definitely not good.
Mm-mm.
That's definitely not good. But I've been I'm doing the homeschooling right now. So that occupies like most of my morning and afternoon. And then we've been doing a lot of, as far as like what am I watching, what am I playing, I was kind of trying to get you guys up to speed. I've been playing a lot of different board games with the kids. I'm trying to reduce the screen time as much as I can. And I would say that they don't have any more than they did before the virus. They have probably the same amount of screen time. And the whole family's playing Animal Crossing, which kind of hurts me because then I'm not getting as much Animal Crossing time. It's kind of why I learned to get everything done in 20 minutes because there's 3 people behind me being like, yo, are you done yet? So...
It's my turn. It's my turn. That sounds like Mark and I over here.
It's crazy. Imagine 3. It's insane.
Now, if you have different profiles on your system,
about.
can you all have your own town?
No.
So,
you share a town, but we all have houses within the town.
How's that happen?
So, well, like, we all kind of set up. Initially, all of our tents were kind of on top of each other, and then we got some villagers, and then because I'm kind of, realistically here, I'm playing with kids.
Yeah.
My niece is 13, but other than that, it's a 7 and 5-year-old. So I hustled straight away. 3 days later, I moved my house up to the cliffs, and nobody else had a ladder or a pole vault to be able to get to me. And they were all like, "Dad, that's messed up." And I'm like, "Well, pay the price to be the boss. Like, it is what it is." And I'm living up I fenced in my property, and they can't get up there, and it was pretty funny.
I'm coming to your town, Steve, and ripping your fence down. And I'm stealing kabuki.
Threats. No kabuki yet. I'm working on that. But I kind of lined it up. I started to build the ramps and stuff. So I've been playing Animal Crossing. I'm playing a ton of board games. I'm actually still getting games of Malifaux in, even with the social distancing. I get a game here and there. I'll probably only played twice since this has all gone down, so I'm not playing as much as I'd like to be. I've just been listening to a ton of music. And I did watch and loved. I watched Wu-Tang and American Saga on Hulu. That was real good. But other than that, that's kind of where I'm at.
Nice. So I, like I said, I got some stuff to go over. I guess I've also been playing Animal Crossing. Spoiler alert. And then trying to see. I've been watching. I just started Parks and Recreation again for I think the 6th time. I watched the Tiger King documentary. I watched F is for Family. I watched a lot of stand-up comedy. But there's this one show I watched on Netflix called. I want to get the right name here. I think it's 1 versus 100 or 100 people or something like that.
Oh yeah. Allison was watching that.
It's fantastic. It's literally a giant. It's a giant social experiment. So what this show is these people. These data collectors. They get 100 people of different ages, races, ethnic groups, religious backgrounds, everything, and different parts of the world. And they get 100 people, and you have to live in this compound. And the only thing you can wear is a jumpsuit, like a gray, like a blue, like a navy blue sweatshirt and sweatpants, and all you go by is your number. You don't go by a name, you don't go by anything, just by number. Like I'm number 20, and it's 1 through 100.
Human 20, yeah.
Yeah, and every morning you wake up and you go to like a Japanese style morning meeting, and you stand in these little your formation, and they're like, hey, today's thing is we want you to try this, and then all you do for as long as you're there is just do these tasks. And then while you're there, they're like, well, is there something you've always wondered? We can try to do like a social experiment to find out. And I mean, some of them were goofy. Like some of them were like, how do you wipe your butt? And you can find out like through 100 different people, there's all these different ways that people use the bathroom. And it's just all these crazy experiments. But then they get into like racism and being prejudiced and finding out that, prejudice isn't just by judging someone by their skin color. You can be judging people by all these different factors. And these people don't even know they're being tested half the time. They just think they're doing these experiments, and they're being tested on all these different levels they don't even realize they're being tested on. And it's a really, really cool social experiment to find out how the human mind works and how we can adjust the way we think and adjust the way we go about doing things. It's It's a really good watch. I definitely recommend it. It's really, really fascinating. I really enjoyed that. I watched a documentary. I was looking for it on Netflix here. I could not find it. But the premise of the documentary, I wish I fucking had the name. I should have wrote it down. That's my new thing. I got to keep a notebook with me when I sit down on the couch and write down the shit I watch. But it might be this dirty. I don't think it's Dirty Money. I'm not sure what it's called now. But it's about this pharmacist. Sorry, Rona. This pharmacist who his son, he didn't realize his son was addicted to heroin, and his son goes to this neighborhood, this bad neighborhood, to go buy drugs, and he gets shot and murdered. And he goes, and he pretty much is going into the hood, and he's just going door to door, and he's just like going to every single person he can, just be like, please tell me what you know. And it's an urban neighborhood, so people don't talk. You don't talk. That's just the rule, and nobody's giving him anything. And the cops are like, dude, I own a gun and I'm a police officer, and I wouldn't go door to door in these neighborhoods. Like, please stop what you're doing, because you're just gonna get yourself hurt. And he's like, I'm not gonna stop, not until I find out who killed my son. And they pretty much were like going through this whole process of how the cops just gave up on it. They're like, we're not going to find anything out. He died in a neighborhood that no one's going to speak, no one's going to talk. We have nothing, and like, just let it go. This dude does all his own detective work, finds out who killed his kid, and you think the documentary's over there, and that just begins. So then he's a pharmacist, and he starts diving into the medical pharmaceutical thing, and he's finding out that there's all these different people that have pharmacists that can write scripts, and they're writing thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of, and millions and billions of dollars of scripts for OxyContin, and pretty much sinking this little town that they're in. Like, their town was the highest OxyContin rate at one time, and he was just talking about how it was like OxyContin was pandemically around the globe, and the United States was just taking down people and turning him into like pretty much what we have now for drug users. And this guy like single-handedly almost pretty much shut down the OxyContin business. In his small neighborhood, he made such a worldwide impact. Like, it's a really, really good documentary. And he was pretty much doing, and to the point where like his own family was like, you need to fucking stop. Like, you're annoying as fuck, because all he would talk about is this. And he would walk around with a tape recorder and tape record everything. So like, he has all this like crazy footage. But I wish I really had the name of the documentary, but it was fantastic.
I'm trying to look it up for you right now.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. But it was pretty much like this one like pharmacist who just pretty much took down, like, pretty much changed his entire community. It was really, really, really good. Yeah, I watched that. And then I watched a movie today. I might have watched other stuff in there, I just don't remember. But I watched a movie today that definitely stuck with me. I watched Brightburn. Did you guys ever see that yet?
I have it here. Didn't watch it yet.
Do it. It is fucking awesome. Dude, it was so good. So Brightburn, for you nerds out there like us, is pretty much a loosely based movie based off the Red Sun comic book of Superman, in a way. Not to the full extent of like Russia and stuff, but pretty much the premise is this family. Who's the lady that played in Zack and Marie Make a Porno? I'm terrible with names.
Elizabeth Banks.
Elizabeth Banks. It's Elizabeth Banks, and it's Roy from The Office. Are a couple, yeah, who can't have a kid. Like, they're trying, they can't have a kid, and they're in bed one night and they're trying, and a big rumble happens, and they see like a falling meteor lands in the woods up by their house, and they live out in the middle of nowhere. So they go out in the woods and find out what it is, and here it is. It's a baby boy. It's kind of like the Superman story. So this kid's growing up, and he's getting older, and he's going through the change, and he's a teenager, and he finds out he has these abilities, and then his pod is like speaking to him and telling him to do evil things, and he pretty much turns into a anti-hero, but he has the abilities of Superman, and who the fuck's gonna stop him? So this little kid is just becoming a straight up killer, and nobody can do shit to stop it, and it's really, really fucking good. It's a lot more graphic than I thought it was. After the first death you see, you're like, okay, that's kind of, it's bad, but it's not too bad. Then you see the second death, and you're like, what the fuck, like it just opens the door wide open. It's a really, really good movie, so I definitely recommend that. Brightburn, and then
Hey Tony.
yeah,
By the way, the documentary about the pharmacist is called The Pharmacist.
it's called The Pharmacist. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really good. So it's on Netflix now. Check that out. Really, really, really good documentary. So 100 People and Pharmacist are the things I really enjoyed on Netflix. And then I watched Brightburn, and then I've been playing. I haven't finished it yet. I'm kind of doing like a chapter a day because it's a pretty long game. Me and a friend are working on Gears of War 5. Really like it. We're trying to do all the collectibles and stuff and find everything. So I'm kind of playing it through a guide just to like tell us where the next collectible is, but we're still enjoying the game. So I'm working on that right now. I've been playing Animal Crossings, of course. I'm playing a lot of Call of Duty. I just finished the season pass that's been going on. That was pretty fun. And then I just started playing Horizon Zero Dawn. Everybody's been telling me it's a 5 out of 5 game. It's PlayStation's best exclusive. It's fantastic. Now, I am going to say I have a little bit of a bias because everyone told me how amazing The Last of Us was, and I played it, and I thought it was a good game, but it did not grab me the same way I guess it grabbed everyone else. I personally feel that just because PlayStation makes it exclusive, I think it gets way more hype than it deserves. And I think some of the exclusives aren't as good as people make them out to be. And so far, how far I'm into Horizon Zero Dawn, it does not feel like a polished game to me. Andy had a really good, I think the idea of the game is cool, how you're this girl and the story. Like, at first, the story was not getting me. It was boring as fuck. I was like, I have no idea what's happening. It's kind of boring. And then you kind of get a little more into the story, and you're like, okay, there's something here. Still not as catching as I thought it would be. But the gameplay mechanics to me are not as fun. Like, you're hitting heal and it's just not healing. Like you're jumping around. Like there's no cover. Like you're dying. You die. I mean, I have been dying a lot. And the thing is how fast paced it moves, and you have to like roll and dive and get out of the way and do this and that. The camera does nothing to help you. Like the camera angles are just atrocious. Like remember how Assassin's Creed Unity was, where you're fighting and you're trying to fight, but you can't see because the camera turned in this weird awkward spot, and then you're getting hit from the angles that you never thought you were gonna hit. You were gonna hit from. That's what this game was doing to me for a very big portion of the beginning, to the point where I was just like, and I was trying to play stealthy, but like at some boss fights you just can't, and I would set these traps down and my traps weren't working. Like the thing would run right through my trap and just not work. Enemies were getting stuck inside of cliffs and they were able to hit me, but I couldn't hit them. I was just really, really disappointed and frustrated with it. So I stopped. I got a pretty good pretty good far into it, but I got a decent enough into it, and I was just like, I'm over this. Like I'm able to go and buy all these weapons, and it doesn't even explain to you what these weapons do or how to use them or why you even should have them. And then you collect all these things, and you don't know what you need to collect and what's garbage. So when you don't even know what you can sell to somebody, or is it important or not. So I haven't sold anything in the game to get anything new, because I'm like, well, is this important? Like it just doesn't explain anything to you, and I've been very, very disappointed with it.
Oh, that's shameful.
Yeah, and
I know how you feel about the series, so that's really disappointing to hear that.
Yeah, have you played it?
No, honestly, I have not played since the very first one. And the first one was a good game, but I'm just not much of an Xbox guy. I've always kind of been a PC and Nintendo.
This is a PlayStation game.
I thought you said Gears.
No, not Gears. Horizon Zero Dawn. I was loving Gears.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Horizon Zero Dawn is what I'm not enjoying. I'm just having a hard time with.
That game I have not heard of at all.
Even Spider-Man, like I played Spider-Man. I didn't finish it. I stopped because I was like, I would go in there and I would go into a warehouse and fight a bunch of bad guys, and there were a bunch of like no-name low level villains, and they're fucking me up. No matter what, I'm dodging, and then I'm trying to hit my heal button, and then a camera turns on. Like I'm just like, what? Like I don't feel like fucking Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man should not be getting taken down by 15 just average thugs. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just like, I don't like this game. Like and it's not that it's too hard. It's just that I don't feel like I'm a fucking superhero. Like I might as well just be fucking Kick-Ass at this point. Like, you know what I mean? Like it just I don't feel like I'm Spider-Man. And then you go fight a boss and it's just like meh. It's more cutscene than it is like dodge, 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 hit him with something, dodge, 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 hit him with something, because you're so used to fighting the fucking 150 guys at one time that when you finally get in a one-on-one fight, you're like, oh, I can focus and concentrate on this one guy, and it just doesn't seem like, I don't know. That's pretty much all I own for my PlayStation is just the PlayStation exclusives, and I've just been really, and everyone's like, oh, these are the greatest things of all time, and I've just been really disappointed.
That platform that you just described, like the one that I would say was kind of birthed by like Assassin's Creed, where like 15 dudes would come on you and you just kind of.
And I love Assassin's Creed. My favorite game franchise.
The first one is the first one's the only one I played. I thought it was a really good game, but I feel like that
super
trope
repetitious
has been really played out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, honestly, by the end of the first Assassin's Creed, I was kind of like, all right, I kind of had enough. Like, so much so that I didn't play the second or anyone after that.
Yeah, you play the second. You play the second, and it feels like it's made by a different developer. It's that much of a joke. Yeah.
But even I played that one Batman game too, Arkham City maybe.
Yeah.
It starts with that fight with Penguin. Like where it's the same thing where you like punch the piss out of like 15 dudes at a time.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool, but like I don't know how many games can you really play like that. I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed the Batman ones, but I definitely see how you could feel that they're the same. But yeah, I'm gonna go back and try it again just to make sure I'm not being biased. But like, I'm gonna be honest. So far, it's like I tell people all the time too. Like, I didn't like The Last of Us. I can't, like, here's the way I describe The Last of Us. Everyone's telling me it's a 10 out of 10. It's the greatest game of all time. It's flawless. And then I'm playing it, and then you have a character that's with you, like, as a sidekick, and you're in this room, and if you fucking sneeze, 300 of these fucking monsters come up and kill you right away. There's nothing you can do about it. Like, they just react to noise. So I'm crouching around trying to figure out what to do, and my NPC character is literally running around, like slapping the thing in the face and running around, and fucking they're not reacting at all. But if I step on a piece of glass, it's like they come around. I'm like, this is fucking crazy. To me, if you're gonna tell me this game is 10 out of 10, you have to take that kind of shit into consideration. Like, yo, for you, it's really cool, but like the game doesn't even react to your NPC, and this is a 10 out of 10 game. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like. Right. Like, once again, I know I'm an Xbox guy. I own both systems, but I just feel like PlayStation gets a free pass when it comes to some of their exclusives. I think they just get too much love that I just don't think is justified. I think their exclusives are just as good as, like, Uncharted. Love Uncharted, but I don't think Uncharted's any better than the last 3 Tomb Raiders that's been out. I think the last 3 Tomb Raiders are the same style of game. Like, if you never bought a PS4 to play Uncharted, but you played the Tomb Raider, you're not missing anything. It's the same game.
I love Uncharted.
So did I. I played Uncharted 1. I loved it. So here's the thing. I loved it until the supernatural stuff started happening. When you're fighting like monsters and zombies and stuff, and I was like, okay, you lost me a little bit there. But I don't know if you played them yet, Bree, but definitely try the Tomb Raiders, because if you liked Uncharted, Tomb Raider plays just the same, and I think they're just as good at games, and I think the story's better.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to play Tomb Raider. Are they on PlayStation or are they?
Yeah.
I don't have an Xbox.
Yeah, they're all on PlayStation.
Okay,
yeah. You can get them really cheap too. Usually there's a lot of sales going on. You could probably get Tomb Raider for like the first one, the definitive edition, for probably under $20.
Oh, that's good then.
Yeah,
they're
really good.
Those games out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those kind of games. And I'm sad to hear that about Horizon Zero Dawn, because that's really high up on my list to play when I'm done with Animal Crossing and when I'm done with Fallen Jedi Order.
Yeah.
Because I'll be done with that then.
Yeah, I have that one. I have Spider-Man, the zombie one, Days Gone. I have God of War 3 or God of War 4, whatever the hell it is up to now, or 5, or just God of War. And then I have a few other ones, but I didn't do God of War because I wasn't a fan of the God of War series to begin with, but I was told that this one's completely different, so I'll give it a shot. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I just think, and it's not me. Just I don't want to sound off like I went into it expecting to hate it, because that's not what I wanted to do. Like I wouldn't have spent all the money on these games if I was just gonna shit on them. You know what I mean? I just
Absolutely.
I just started playing it, and I'm just not impressed. I don't know.
No, that's a bummer. I'm still gonna play mine too, and hope it's good. But those kinds of things are a shame when you buy them.
Yeah, the one fight I was doing, I was like, I had to kill this one robot to get a wand or some kind of staff, and I had to reset the game twice because during the fight it would glitch itself into a rock, and I couldn't kill it to get the item I needed. It was really frustrating.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be happy with that either.
Mm-hmm. Horizon Zero Dawn is a lot like Far Cry meets Assassin's Creed, is the best way I can describe it.
Oh, okay. I like
mixed with
Assassin's Creed.
what was that really good Lord of the Rings game? The Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That game was fantastic. Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War. It plays a lot like that. I think it's closer to that than anything else.
That would be good
Okay,
then.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's pretty much what I've been playing and into. I wanna start downloading some comics and reading some comics more now that I have more free time, but I just kind of been doing that. But that's pretty much been it for me on my end of what I've been into at the moment.
Before you shift gears too hard, I looked up that documentary you're talking about, the Netflix one with the test subjects.
Yeah.
That one is called 100 Humans,
100
Life's
Humans.
Questions Answered.
Yes. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah,
No problem,
that
man.
is absolutely fantastic. If you have a couple minutes to watch it's a couple episodes, but it's really fucking good. It makes you like.
Yeah, I agree.
And now here's the thing. I'm going to be honest. I think if you're very, I don't know. I don't want to turn people off by my description, but I think if you're someone who may be right wing leaning, I don't think you're gonna like it because I think you're gonna look at it and be like, this is just liberal bullshit, fucking hippie shit. But I honestly think it's legit. I think it's a legit study that was done.
I think it's important to remember it's only 100 people, but some of it is really interesting. Like there was a study in particular, you touched on it lightly, where they gave people a fake gun,
Yeah.
and then they just had people popping out of props and you had to.
Some were
if they
holding
held a
guns
cell
and some were
phone,
holding
they
cell
taking a
phones,
picture
yeah.
of you, right? If they're taking a picture of you with a cell phone, you don't want to shoot them. If they were holding up a gun pointing it at you, you do want to shoot them. And 98% of the people shot the black guy. It was really intense. It was, and the people are crying when they realized what they had done. It was really intense watch.
All the actors who were playing the people who would either jump out because you would it was kind of like an arcade shooter where somebody you would just duck behind a car,
Right.
and then the person when they were down they would switch if they're holding a phone or a gun and they would pop back up and be like a white
Kinda
guy.
House of the Dead.
Yeah, like a white guy or an Asian girl or a Hispanic man, and except the very, very end, there was one. It would pop out an Asian dude and a black dude, and the black dude always had the cell phone. And every single actor who was part of this thing, the 100 Humans had no idea who they were except the black dude. And the black dude was one of the producers of the show who had interacted with all 100 of these people every single day, to the point where
Every
everyone
day, yeah.
loved this dude. They knew him like the back of their hand. He's like the go-to guy that everyone goes to, and he was the guy who would pop
Right,
out.
they're all on a first name basis with them.
Yep, and he was the one that would pop out with a cell phone, and they would shoot him. 98% of the people would shoot him. The one girl shot him, and she was like, "Oh my god!" And it was kind of like a study too, maybe don't judge cops all the time, because it's not just the cops who are prejudiced. We kind of may have that as well too. And even black, the black people who were doing in the study, they were shooting the black guy as well.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
It's a scary way of your mind, the way it works, and it would just be two random people would step out, and one has a gun, and one's holding a cell phone, and almost every single person would shoot the dude with the cell phone because he was black. It was crazy, and
That was crazy.
and I don't want people to think the whole episode just about race, because they showed that people are discriminatory against people of age, people of weight, people of tattoos, and what they would do is you would walk into a room and there would be a guy with a tattoos, and he looked mean as shit, not straight up looked like a fucking psycho, and they would gauge. They had they didn't show the people in the room they had this, but they would do a circle gauge, 10 feet, 3 feet, 1 feet, 20 feet. And some people would just open the door, stand right where the door is, look at them. And their whole mission was, you have to walk into these 4 rooms and you have to study this person. And when you come back, we're going to ask you questions based on what you studied on this person. So when you go in, you have to get really close and study the person. They're we want you to know what he smells like. We want it, it could be anything we're going to ask you. And and pretty much some people would walk into the room with the guy with the tattoos, and they would open the door and just stare at him, and then turn around and walk out. And then other people who had tattoos would walk in and walk straight up to him and look at his tattoos and study them and get like 1 feet away from him and have a conversation with him. Then the next room was an old guy who was literally just like, he looked like he was a corpse. He was that old. And he would just like sit in a chair, and some people would walk right up to him and speak to him, and other people would walk in and stay as far away as possible. And then there was a room where the dude was really, really obese, and some people would stay really far away because they thought older people would be more inclined to walk up to the older people, and younger people would stay further away. And they found out it was opposite. More of the younger people went up to the old person, and they thought more obese people would go up to the other obese person. And it was once again the complete opposite, where people who were also obese wouldn't go near the obese guy. Like their distancing from him was further away than most people. But the people with the tattoos would get right up on top of the guy with the tattoos and have a conversation. But the other people who didn't have tattoos wouldn't go near him. It was like I said, there was so many different ways they did the study, but it was really, really fascinating.
Yeah, it was really wild. I agree.
Yeah, they said who was funnier. Yeah, that's the only thing I thought they kind of skewed was they were quick to say that women were better than men, but they weren't willing to say that men were funnier than women. They were like, no, they're equally as funny. I'm like, and not from the footage you showed. Like,
right.
They had like a room full of people, and they had like a bunch of women go up and tell the same joke, the same guy, and they didn't say you can deliver it any way you want, but here's the joke. And like the girls would go up and tell the joke, and it'd be crickets, and then the dude would go up and tell a joke, and people would like, ah! Like losing. Like it was really like they had like a bunch of really. They did a study on positive reinforcement minus negative reinforcement, and seeing how people react to each side. Like I said, it's really, really fucking good. I definitely recommend it.
I second that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's awesome. 100 Humans. Thank you, Steve, putting it out there.
No problem, man.
Yeah. So, is there anything that's coming out soon, or any other news that's going on that you guys may have heard about that you want to talk about?
I don't think so, because I think everything's been like pushed back or delayed or.
Well, yeah,
being,
that's one thing I wanted to kind of bring up is I just didn't want to be the only one talking here. Wonder Woman was rumored to be coming out on just digital only, and then I guess they said no, we're just going to push it back.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah.
I was really looking forward to seeing Wonder Woman 1984. It looked amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have to wait. And then The Witcher got pushed back. A whole bunch of things got pushed back. It's really, I mean, they have to do what they have to do for everybody's safety, but it's a bummer because there's a lot of good things coming out, and now we don't know when we'll get to see them.
Yeah. Is there any games that are coming out that you're excited for?
I think the remake of Final Fantasy should be coming out sometime soon. Final Fantasy VII. That looked pretty good.
I
I never got to play the original.
Oh my god.
I think that's April 10th that comes out.
I'm going to put a picture in the chat real quick. Check your phones. So this just dropped 5 hours ago. Sony PlayStation reveals the PlayStation 5 controller, the DualSense. Yuck.
I know what you're going to exactly say
Mark
about
just
it.
pulled it up. Yeah, it looks pretty nice.
I don't. Are they actual buttons? What the fuck is going on there?
I mean, it
Don't
looks
it?
nice, but
I thought you were going to puke there a little. You're going to hack a little bit there, Tony.
That's fucking ugly.
It has the whole haptic thing going on there.
It literally. All right, so at first glance,
I'm not
it's
good.
shaped just like an Xbox controller,
Yeah.
except I hate the dual sticks that are right there. I kind of like how Xbox has them a little off skewed. I think it's just more comfortable. I don't like that they're right.
Tony,
Yeah.
why do you hate PlayStation so much? That looks like a fucking PlayStation controller.
No, how it's more rounded. It's shaped like
Oh,
an
so
Xbox.
what?
It's shaped like an Xbox controller. But I
It's
have
just
to
a fucking controller.
I have to hold it, but it looks like the buttons are like touchpads and not actual buttons. Does it look like that to you?
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
I would if that's
The
how
shit isn't going to come out until November. You know that's going to change 10 times between now and then.
I don't know. PlayStation. Well, why would they reveal it if it's going to change if that's not their controller?
Honestly, I want to interject. It says it features haptic feedback. I wouldn't be surprised if they are not buttons, actually, and if Tony's 100% right.
If they're not
just
buttons,
like,
that's not.
They just look like buttons.
I'm not into that at all.
I just because of the haptic thing, I would have to say that might be the case. It's pretty crazy.
Oh.
You never know, though. I thought 2 Joy-Cons together on that stupid thing that came with the console. I didn't think I would like that, and I love it, actually.
Yeah, the only problem I hope this controller gets rid of it from the PlayStation, the last PlayStation controller. I hate that stupid light. It fucking drains your controller battery so fucking fast. The light on the controller that was
No, I know what you mean.
Dude,
Yeah, it does.
the life on your controller on a PlayStation is not nearly as long as it was on an Xbox. Like I could play my Xbox for like 4 days before I charge it, and the PlayStation's like after an hour or two of gaming is like, this is dead. You're like, fucking light. Can I turn the stupid light off? Well, I don't even need it. It's killing my fucking battery.
Ours doesn't die that quick. Our PlayStation controller doesn't die like that.
Yeah,
Maybe we just need a new PlayStation controller.
Yeah, I just feel like that light fucking kills it. I do like the only thing I do like about the PlayStation. Sometimes it depends on the game. Is how the controller has like a little speaker in it. So certain games, when you activate things, the sound comes from the controller. I think that's somewhat neat. But some games are just like when you're playing Grand Theft Auto and the cops are screaming through your controller. You're like, shut the fuck up. You're like, shut the fuck.
Oh, I like that.
Yes, some games I like it. Some games I don't.
I think it gives you like, I don't know, like a surround sound feel.
Yeah.
Just me.
Yeah, I hope that's
me.
not the case. I hope they're actual buttons and not just fucking touchpads. I don't know how I'd feel about that if they were touchpads. I want them to
hard to stay with that picture.
I want them to reveal the look of the system.
I'd like to see the system too. We've always been big on PlayStation, Mark and I, and I'm a number one Nintendo fan. Though Nintendo has always been my system, always will be my first system. It's never going to be anything else. And then PlayStation, I actually am the opposite. I actually do not like Xbox at all. I've tried it, and I don't know. I just don't really like it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I bought into the Xbox when it first came in. I was like, all right, listen, their obviously their E3 was horrible, and I was like, all right, it is what it is. What system do I buy here? And I still went with the Xbox. I don't know why, but I still went with it. I think because I really, really enjoyed the 360. I thought the 360 was way better than the PS3. And then I was like, all right, you know what? The 360 got me. I'm gonna go Xbox for when it comes to the Xbox. Just the Xbox One, I guess it was. It changes every model. Xbox One S and then Xbox X. I don't know. And honestly, like now in retrospect, from the beginning of the console generation to now the end, I'm happy I went with Xbox over PlayStation, only because Xbox, their backwards compatibility has been fantastic, where there's probably 100 games, because I went digital a long time ago. So as someone who's a digital gamer who buys them, because I'm someone who would fucking buy all these awesome games and then I'll be trading them in the GameStop, get no money for them just so I can get the one other game instead of just fucking waiting. Because I'm like, oh, I could just trade in 6 games to get this next game. And then I'd be like, oh my God, I really wish I had those old games still. And I was like, well, fuck it. I have to stop doing that. So I'll just buy them digitally now and I could just re-download them on the marketplace. So someone who's been a digital gamer, every single time, it seemed like every month every week I would turn my Xbox on. There was a new update like, hey, we're trying this thing out. Do you want to experiment with it? And I'm like, yeah. And I thought like they would listen to their fan base of how they can change their dashboard and change this and change that. So they made a lot of cool component changes within their system in this span. The hard drives were almost right off the bat. You could put a hard drive in your system, where PlayStation took a long time to get external space on your system. And every month they were like, well, here's backwards compatibility. So when I turn my Xbox on, I have like 600 games that I can just immediately go on my games and download them, and I can play them because they went back and got all of the rights for their older games and then made them digital download onto my system now. So I was like, well, that's a home run. Like if you're going to give me everything I had before on my new system, and they're going to carry that over again to the next generation, where I can put a disc in now of any system from Xbox One on, or the original Xbox on, in my new system and play it. So I don't even have the old system need to be hooked up. Like that's a win-win for me. That's fantastic. So I don't know. I think Xbox, when they first had the people that were in charge, they were really fucking shitty, and they realized that and fired them. And I think they made a lot of really good changes. Since then, I think they've changed their format. But I could definitely see, like, PlayStation does make a lot more exclusives. I do give them a lot of credit for that. But when it comes to like being for their gamer, I don't really see it. Like Xbox sales, an Xbox sale goes on, like, 'cause I'm really big into sales, and I'll do it for both systems. So I'll say, okay, Xbox spring sale right now is going on for PlayStation, spring sale is going on for Xbox. Until recently, because the new generation's coming out, you would go on a spring sale, and PlayStation would never put any of their exclusives on their sales. Like, I wanted to get Uncharted, and it's been out for like 3 years, and it wouldn't be on their spring sale. But I can pick up Gears of War 5 on spring sale for $20, and I was like, well, that's a fucking win-win. But now even they have Game Pass, where if you subscribe to Game Pass for $9 or $60 for the year, every exclusive game that Xbox made is on there for free. Like, you can play those games day one if you're a Game Pass member. So I just feel like when it comes to like getting certain games, PlayStation's kind of stingy, where they don't really want to put them out. Like, right, you can get that. What's that one game with Norman Reedus right now? That's on
Death Stranding.
Yeah, Death Stranding's on their spring sale as we speak. You can get Death Stranding for like, I think $20 or $30. But that was also mid level received. Some people really liked it, some people didn't like it. So it's really tough. But I just think when it comes to like stuff like that, I don't know. I kind of lean more towards the Xbox and the PlayStation.
You're a hater.
Well, no, you can make your arguments of why you don't like the Xbox, but I own both systems, so I kind of experiment with both of them, so I can find my pros and cons of each one. I just don't own one system and not the other, and then just say that one sucks, but I don't physically own it or try to or tell you why I don't like it. You know what I mean?
Well, I didn't say any of them suck, actually.
Yeah, I don't think PlayStation sucks either, but I think it definitely has its flaws that a lot of people don't like to talk about.
Oh no, we understand that.
Just
Yeah.
busting your balls. Oh.
Yeah, I know, I understand. Has anyone played the new Resident Evil?
I have
Resident
not.
Evil
No, I
3
have not.
Did not yet, man.
I'm
It
waiting.
looks good.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. I'm
Yeah, it
waiting.
does
though.
look good.
I rushed out right away and got Resident Evil 2, the remake, because that's one of my favorite games of all time. And I beat the game in 3 hours.
Oh, that's rough.
And then I was like, okay, I beat it in 3 hours. I do know it's Resident Evil 2, so you play as, Leon A, Claire B, and then I played Claire B, which is normally a little harder, and beat that in about 3 hours. So I played Leon and Claire in like one day, and I was like, woof. And then I learned how to speedrun it, and I was finishing, and then I literally speedrun it and finished Claire A and Leon B in, I think, an hour and a half. I got it down to, or something really crazy, like an insane time. So I was like, all right, cool. I just spent $60 on a game that you can literally finish in three days if you really, or 2 days if you're not rushing. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hold off on 3 just in case. Or the Nemesis just in case. And a lot of people are saying it is a very short game as well.
Yeah, Resident Evil 3 was one of those games that came out in the lifespan of the last bit of the PlayStation's lifespan, and just jumped to Code Veronica, so it never really got the attention that it really deserved.
Yeah, and it was the last Resident Evil to have those tank controls too, right? Where it kind of.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, and Veronica kind of had a mix between tank and third person. And then 4 is where it really jumped and changed over the shoulder.
The controls for, I think, Veronica were a little bit better. It was still tanky, but you could do, like, you can rotate with the whole D or directional pad instead. So
Code Veronica was hard.
I've been hearing about that too. I never really got in. Like, again, I never really got into the Resident Evils. I always liked watching people play them. So for me to like say like, oh, I like them, now I'm going back to playing like some of the remakes or whatever, and I'm starting to like those ones now.
I have them all on my system. Except the newest one, the Resident Evil 3. But I have 0, I have 1, the GameCube remastered. I have 2, I didn't get 3 yet, but I have, and then I have 4, 5, 6, and 7, and Veronica, and then also the Chronicles. So I have pretty much the entire collection on my Xbox. Well, just kind of segue into this. Capcom just did a survey. I kind of did this all backwards. I did what we're into first, and now the news. Capcom did a survey and asked if you want more Resident Evil remakes or you want them to make a new Resident Evil. And rumors are Resident Evil Code Veronica and Resident Evil 4 are next on the lineups for remakes.
Huh.
Oh boy.
Just don't. I mean, Resident Evil 5 was good, but if you don't remake it, I wouldn't care.
I didn't go past 4. That was where I stopped.
Resident Evil 5 was so cinematic. It wasn't even a game, but it had multiplayer, which was fun.
I was in a weird point in my life where I had given up on Xbox and PlayStation. I was only doing Nintendo and PC.
Yeah.
So my only option was PC, and I was kind of like, I don't even know if it's worth it. Like, I don't know. So I never got it. And I didn't hear really too many good things about it either, so I'm not too disappointed with it.
My mom just sent a picture in the chat. I don't know if you see it. She found the white corner and the red corner for the wrestling ring. I just need the blue corner now. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, you never
good.
answered me. Do you need the judge's bell? Because I got that.
I mean, yeah, if you have it.
Yeah, man. Ding,
Oh
ding.
boy.
I have the huge Godzilla.
I also
Oh,
have
nice.
a boxing ring for. Oh wait, I might have accidentally sold it. Never mind.
Well, even if you have it once, it goes to your Nook sale, your Nook little, like, you can go and buy it out of your Nook thing on the PC.
Well, that's true. But it's from Sahara. You know, the camel who sells her unique flooring and
Yeah.
and but she's still in my town, so I could always rebuy it if you want it.
Cool. Yeah. All right. So that's pretty much all the news I have for now. We're still like an hour in. We can go a little longer. Let's really dive into and talk about Animal Crossing here. We could really let loose.
Sounds good to me. I love it.
I'm actually going to mute and go grab my Switch. I'll be back in just a moment.
Go ahead. Actually, I could.
Mine's already right here.
It's crazy how everyone plays a different way. Like, I'm more the collector. I want to get the fish and I want to get the bugs. You're more like, it seems like the decorator, where you can decorate everything. Like I said, everyone has their own little unique way of playing.
Yes.
It's
I agree
like I
with
said, it's a really, really cool process. But the funny thing is, if you try to explain Animal Crossing to someone who's never played it before, man, they're gonna hate. Like, it's so hard to make it sound cool.
That is true. Because if they don't understand the game or the gameplay, they're just like, why do you want to do a bunch of chores? Why do
Yeah.
you want to pay rent? Do that in real life. It does not sound fun at all.
I'll tell you
Well,
what.
you get to dress up, do
Yeah.
fun hair, meet with cute animals. Like, why wouldn't you?
The funny thing is now, with this people not going to work and they miss going to work. This can also be a like a side note to that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you're not at work and you can't do like your daily mundane tasks. You can kind of substitute it with this game.
You could give you a sense of like a normal life. in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah. It kind of gives you like a purpose. Like, oh, I should go and log on to the game and do a couple things real quick, because you don't have that open access to everybody.
I agree. And it's a great way to socialize too, with your friends in a time where you can't really socialize. Because I think we have a good little group chat going, and you can go visit each other's towns and kind of see each other virtually, even though you can't really do it in real life. So I think that's a nice supplement as well.
The cool thing about our
I'm
chat
sorry.
too is there's a lot of people in our chat that don't physically know each other. You know what I mean? Like, some of those
Yes.
people, some of the people in the chat are from California that my brother knows, and some people are on the chat like that I never met, and they're friends of yours, or friends of Steve's, or Steve's sister. Like, there's a lot of, we have a really cool dynamic of people. Like, and if you're listening to the podcast and you want to join our chat, let us know, and you can join us, and you can come and play and play with us, you know what I mean, and interact with us. But it's been a really cool
Hell
way
yeah.
of getting
No
to know each
trolls
other.
allowed.
What's that?
No trolls allowed.
No troll. If
Yeah,
you're a
no
troll, you're
troll.
getting booted right away. We'll boot you, and then invite you again just to boot you again.
We'll troll you with booting.
Yeah.
We have a respectful, fun group. that's kind to each other, supportive, and I think that's really nice to have in today's time.
Everybody's so helpful. That's
Yeah.
what it's really about.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, you'll log on and be like, hey, who needs this, or who has this, or this is going on in my thing, and it's really neat. Like, oh, my gate's open, come on over. Like, it's just been a really cool experience. I don't know, it's been wild. And like I said, like, some of the people in the chat I don't even know personally, but they're in our chat and we just kind of all hang out with each other.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, this is my first Animal Crossings I've ever played, because like I said before, like, it was a game that my mom played, and I wasn't allowed to play it because I wasn't allowed to mess up her save file.
Oh.
So this is my first Animal Crossing that I got to actually play.
No, it's cool. It's good.
Yeah,
It's a good game.
Yeah, this one I think is a lot easier versus coming from the old one, Tony. So it was, I mean, say what you want, but I think this one's a little bit easier. It's a little bit like lax. I mean, the fishing's a lot better into it than from the first one, because literally, like, if you don't tap on that button, guess what? You're not getting that fish. So
Yeah. What are some of your island names for people who don't know? We'll start with Bubry.
So my island name is Breezy Beach. I called it that because I have a family member that nicknamed me Breezy as a young kid, so it's kind of like an ode to that. And then just wanted to have like a island feel to it, so I just added beach to it.
Nice. Steve?
Yeah.
Paradise Island.
Paradise Island.
Yep, keep it simple.
Mark?
Mark is on my island. He had to leave because he has work in the morning.
Oh, okay.
He's an essential employee. But he's on my island because in this game, every game you own, you have to have one island. So he would have to buy his own games to get his own island. So he's on my island.
So for the new Switch, just kind of find out how you said you all have your own. Does he have his own character as well, or he plays your character?
No, he has his own character. So you can have several characters on one island, but you can only share one island.
Okay, that makes
Up
sense.
to 8, actually.
So his character name is Vargas, and my character name is Arena, which means Ireland.
Okay.
And he always plays a character named Vargas in most of his games.
And Ben, what's your island name?
mine's multi-chorus because I named it after a Hudson Valley beer that I really love and enjoy. So it's an enjoyable place. So hey, it's a cool place, man. I like it. I actually when I went on some of the Nook Miles tickets. I actually recruited like 3 people already.
Nice.
I got, I think I got a
awesome.
monkey, a dog, and a ram or a sheep.
I have a ram
Sounds
sheep.
awesome.
Until everything progresses. I
Which
forget
dog
what the name of. I forget what the name of the sheep is. I know that she wears a watermelon shirt. The dog is B, and I forget what the monkey's name is.
Oh,
But
okay.
the monkey's a dude, so a guy. So he's the only guy out of like the 2 girls. So, and then my default ones are Tank and Hazel for my the ones I started off with.
A lot of people are starting off with Hazel. I started off with her too, but she's moving out now, so maybe I'll get Freya or Bill, my favorite characters of all time.
I started off with. Hold on. There's a way you can do it. I think. Let me see if I can find it real fast.
Oh, did you say your island name though, Tony?
Oh, my island name is Gotham.
Yes, a good name, a
Okay.
good one.
Yeah. So my island is
This is a good
Gotham,
one.
and my music that I found is when you come to my island and it plays the music. It's actually it's the Office music.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love The Office.
That's
so much.
awesome.
Yeah. And my town flag is the bat symbol. I made my own little bat symbol.
That's awesome.
I thought there was a way you could find out all the people in your islands.
You
Go to the
can.
map.
Do you have the Nintendo Switch app?
I do, yeah.
So if you go go into your app and you go to your passport, it will have everybody's names there.
All right. I'm not good with characters' names. Oh.
I've been playing since the original Animal Crossing, so I know like a good amount of the original characters. Like you heard me mention Kabuki earlier. Mark and I and one of our other friends used to go into Steve's town and try to steal his ninja cat, Kabuki. He was a cat, I'm pretty sure. Right, Steve? He was a
So
cat?
I have.
Yeah, he was a cat. They would just send him like ridiculous amounts of gifts and like pretty much love letters and try to get him to move out of my town. So they would move into his town.
Yeah.
And hilariously enough, Brie, I didn't ever tell you this. Like, because the girls really like Animal Crossing, so up until this game came out, we were actually still playing it.
Oh shit.
He did end up leaving me, but I don't think. Yeah, he ended up leaving me. It was so weird because it's like fucking 10 years later, like, and just out of nowhere, I turn on the game and he's gone. I was like, what? So he.
I wonder whose town he's in. He's either in my town, Mark's town, or Steve Weep's town, probably.
Well, it's such I mean, that game don't even go online anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a little. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, Steve. But we have like a little joke going that we used to try and steal Kabuki from Steve.
Yeah.
And we're bringing up a lot. Somebody stole one of my favorite villagers too. I don't remember if it was you, Steve, or if it was Mark. And I kept trying to fight you guys on stealing that character, and one of you got him, and I don't remember who it was.
I don't know.
I want to get that coconut bunny,
character.
that creepy fucking coconut bunny.
Coco.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love Coco.
That thing's fucking creepy looking.
Weirdest thing about that, back in the day when you used to time travel, if you messed up, like if you would go maybe back in time and then too far forward in time, when you would load in, that's what you would look like. Your eye sockets would be gone, and your mouth would just be like a hole, and it was so creepy. It was funny because when you said it, I was like, oh, like it took me back there. I was like, oh man, I ain't never time traveling. And actually, I haven't time traveled yet.
I've never done it.
I haven't
No,
time
I played
traveled.
Not even back in the day.
You did it, Steve? Or
Back on the old one, on the GameCube one, I did. I haven't done it on this one. I have no intentions on doing it.
Yeah. So here's what I have on my island. I have two frogs. I have Prince and Henry. There's a little bit of an echo. Someone's echoing on someone's phone. And then I have Pate, which is like a duck. I have Shari, which is a monkey. I have Vesta, which is like a ram. And then I have Samson, who's a mouse.
That's awesome.
Samson's my favorite. He's cool as hell. All he does is work out. He does curls and shit. And then when you go talk to him, he's like, "Yo, what's up, Pipsqueak?" He calls everyone Pipsqueak.
he's an original character, Samson. He's been around a long time.
Oh, really?
He's cute. Yeah.
Nice. All right. I'm not sure what's going on. We have a really weird echo, and I feel like it's going to drive people crazy when they're listening. We're about an hour and a half in, so I feel like we hit a good moment here, a good time. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about on Animal Crossings or get off your chest before we wrap up here?
No, I'm looking forward to next time we can get together. Obviously, I'm kind of enjoying this whole quarantine thing. It's good to like get the family time in, and I don't really like the fact that I can't get out in life does not affect me. It's nice to just be at home, and like homeschooling has been awesome. So I'm kind of grateful for it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm really looking forward to getting back with you guys at the table up in Tony's kitchen.
100%.
I'm looking forward to. I had appointments booked to start doing my own podcast, and it all kind of fell apart at that moment. So everybody kind of canceled on me, and I understand. So I'm looking forward to getting mine off the ground as well. So
yeah, I can't wait for you to start yours up as well. I'm excited.
That was the only real negative to all this. I was like ready to roll, and sure as shit, man. And all this shit happened.
Yeah, I'll break a little bit of silence here. I just released like 3 or 4 new episodes, and I'm kind of bummed because out of my last 3 or 4 episodes, the listenership was pretty low because a lot of this stuff, like I have the same number of people who listen to every episode regardless of the guest, and then I usually get like an influx of the guest people who want to come in and listen to the person they know talk. And the last couple people I had on the show didn't promote it at all. They didn't like, I have the post up and they didn't share it, didn't say they were a part of it, and I was kind of disappointed.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. It's like, I did a lot of editing and getting everything ready and getting everything set up, and then I put all the work in to get it done, especially with what I have going on with my computer, and it's just like, yep, here we go. Like, it's just like, it sucks, but it is what it is. But Yeah, you would think with the people being locked in the house, more people would be listening to podcasts, but actually our listening ship has been down a little bit. It's not even high. It's not as high as it used to be. But we did take a huge break, so the wrestling show didn't get as high as last time. So we'll see how this one does. But I think it takes people a couple weeks to see that we're back and doing stuff. So hopefully we'll bounce back.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just only a matter of time.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is, just to kind of let you guys know that are listening, we record these every Tuesday, and then we release them on a Wednesday. So hopefully every Wednesday we're going to be back, and Not Cool in High School will be back on the airwaves, and we'll be doing this just like you're hearing now. So just you might hear like echoes or weird phone connection issues, but for the time being, just really bear with us, and we're going to try our best to make sure to eliminate as much as possible, but we can't control it all. But you know, we're gonna keep it going and not just not do anything, so you guys can still stay up to date and stay current with us. And if you have anything you want to follow or talk to us or send a message or have us do a topic on, send us a message over on Instagram or Facebook over at Nicole High School or IWEP Network. Hit that like and subscribe button. Let people know about us. Hit the share. Show people that we're a thing in the area. And then once this all quarantine goes down, we'll go back to start doing some stuff we planned on initially. We were going to go to a comic book store in Schuylkill Haven and do some cool stuff and do a podcast where we play Gaslands or podcast my first Dungeons and Dragons experience. So we have a lot of cool stuff lined up. We didn't forget about it. We're just waiting for all this to blow over. But I want to thank you guys for calling in and getting this all taken care of and kind of getting back to normalcy a little bit here on the network.
Hell yeah, the pleasure's all mine, man.
All right.
You can't see me bowing right now, but I am.
Oh, I love it. I miss you guys a lot, man. This podcast is not just something I enjoy to do. It's very therapeutic to me. So it's something I look forward to doing. So it gives me a reason to wake up and stay motivated. So I especially even more now than ever. So when we were not recording, man, I was just like, this is boring as fuck. Like I could play video games all day, but I really, really look forward to doing this and hanging out with people and talking. So I'm really happy we're kind of bouncing back to it.
Absolutely. I can't wait for next week.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's always a fun time.
Anything you guys want to plug or put out there?
Everything in my life has been canceled.
Yeah. Same here.
Same here.
All right. Well,
no.
The biggest thing he'll tell you is just stay safe, stay in the house, stay quarantined, and we'll get through this soon.
Wash your hands, practice social distancing.
It's getting crazy right now. One connection.
I love you all.
Yeah, we'll see you guys. Love you guys so much. Follow us on the thing. Hit the links below, and we'll see you next Wednesday. See you then.
See you, folks.
God bless.
Bye, everybody.